Goldpanners and all AstroTurf, or all field turf field here at Salt Lake Community College, the Jordan, Utah campus. On the mound is Cole Colleran for the San Diego Waves, and he will face... I was confused for a moment. Brock Rudy, he's wearing number 8. So Brock Rudy not wearing his number 29 jersey, he's wearing number 8, and Rudy is batting second. And he takes ball one. It's 1-1, 1 out. Top of the first inning, just underway. The San Diego Waves are the home team. They were the number 1 seed out of the National Division. Garrow Von Dane, incidentally, here with you live. Chris Carlson did the major hustle today after the rains ended the previous game prematurely and had to get all of our PannerVision stuff out of that stadium and get it over here and set up. And with seconds to spare, made it on the air here. So big props to Chris Carlson for getting things set up here at Gate Field at SLCC. And this one is lifted down the left field line by Rudy. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Brock. Brock looking to get back on track here on his birthday. Rudy 1 for 18 here at the World Series. He'll be followed by the designated hitter Sean Rimmer, and then cleanup spot is Matthew Pennall. Rudy swings and misses for strike 3. Just something out of sync for Brock. He rarely struck out this summer, but he has been here at the World Series. Batted .420 until we left for Salt Lake City. And that'll bring up Sean Rimmer, the DH. Matthew Pennall, cleanup spot. Brock Kless batting 5th. Griffin Harrison in the 6th spot. Isaac Shook batting 7th. Marty Munoz 8th. And Caleb Milliken in the 9th spot. Panners defeating the Las Vegas Gamblers today. It was a 7-2 lead in the bottom of the 6th with the Panners batting. A 7-inning game, and the Panners had the bases loaded and nobody out, and the rains came. Ground ball to third, bobbled, picked up, and the throw is airmailed over first base, so Rimmer safe at first. A 2-out error allows Rimmer to reach and brings up Matthew Pennall. Matthew Pennall earlier today against the Gamblers went 4 for 4 with a double, drove in a pair of runs, scored twice. And also pitched 2 scoreless innings, going 1-2-3 with 3 strikeouts. He got the win after Garrett Maloney went the first 4. What a day for Pennall. He'll try to keep it rolling here in the second game of the day. Gates World Series semifinal. He lifts this one high, shallow left field, and a long run, and this one drops just in fair territory. And 2 aboard with 2 outs. A high pop fly, chasing after it were both Jones and Berg. But it drops fair and another base hit for Pennall, who can do no wrong. So Gold at first and second here in the top of the first. This a 9-inning game. This game moved up an hour because there was a possibility that the other semifinal game will be played here after this one. And still unclear where that game will be played. The sun is out now. But man, did it rain. And after we went off the air, it poured for a good while. Tarp was on the field. And they might still try and play that game over there. And if not, they'll try and get it in here on the turf. The lights are on, but not needed right now. The sun is beating down upon the turf. Brock Kless, the batter, with 2 aboard and 2 outs. And a 1-ball pitch coming from Colleran, the left-handed starter for the Waves. And it's down low. 2-0. We did not see Colleran in Fairbanks in that 6-game series Back in June, the Midnight Sun Series, Panners took the first 2 games, including the Midnight Sun game from the Waves, but then San Diego took 4 straight. The Waves winning their first series in Fairbanks in many tries. Not often the Panners lose 4 in a row at Groudon, but that's exactly what the Waves did. They went 22-2 in league play, 29-6 on the season overall, and are unbeaten here other than the cross-divisional game against the Marshals. Diving stop at third, the throw to second for the force out, and no harm done to the Waves. Goldpanners leave a couple of men on 1 base hit, no score. Waves coming to bat. Waves come to bat in the bottom of the first inning. This one scheduled for a full 9 here in the semifinals of the Gates World Series. We've moved everything over to Salt Lake Community College, the Jordan campus. Chris and I, of course, drove to the other campus, could not find the baseball field. It's because it is on the Jordan campus. Made our way here, got things set up, and Nolan Meredith is on the mound and induces a ground ball to short off the bat of Devlin Lindman. And a 6-3 put out of Lindman. 1 away here in the bottom of the first. Nolan Meredith, the junior from UC Davis, a 5'10 right-hander out of Atascadero, California, gets the start. Head coach Mark Lindsay was able to save him. He was ready to go in the previous game today if needed, but great work today for Garrett Maloney. And then Matthew Pinal lights out in a couple of innings, and then the rains came. And an abbreviated game ended in the bottom of the 6th with the Panners leading 7-2. They had the bases loaded, nobody out, too. And so that's it for the Gamblers, and now we're down to 4. Goldpanners and Waves, and the Utah Marshals and UCL Stars are going to try to play after this game, either here or they might start over at the other field if they can in Kearns. The championship game tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. still scheduled for Kearns High School at Gates Field. 3 balls and no strikes, Caden Zuba, and a 4-pitch walk. from Nolan Meredith. That'll bring up Garner Christensen, and then Quincy Scott in the cleanup spot. Jamie Berg will bat 5th. Phoenix Some in the 6th spot. Alex Jones batting 7th. John Stark in the 8th hole. And Reese Anderson, the designated hitter, batting 9th. Now it's hot. It was cool earlier. Of course, we were soaking wet. And it was windy. Now just a slight breeze. The sun is out and beating through the press box glass here at Salt Lake Community College on the artificial surface. Bottom of the first, no score. The Waves have a runner at first for Garner Christensen. And it's a 1-1 from Nolan Meredith. That helps. Yes, thank you for fanning the air here. We went from cold to hot really quick. Grounded to second. Flip to the bag for 1. A 4-6-3 double play ends the inning. 1 in the books. No score, Panners and Waves. Griffin Harrison will lead off for the Goldpanners as we go to the top of inning number 2 here from Salt Lake Community College. A bunch of the fans made it over here for this game. What a crowd last night for the Goldpanners and Marshalls in the feature game on a beautiful Friday night. Panners getting the 9-3 win last night, and then a 7-2 rain-shortened game this afternoon against the Las Vegas Gamblers. Harrison grounds this one foul, third base side. Winner of this one advances to tomorrow morning's championship game, scheduled for 10:30 a.m. back over at Gates Field at Kearns High School. So Chris will gather all the gear
Yes, and do this all over again.
and do this all over again in the morning if Panners win this one. Harrison, then Shook and Marty Munoz due up against Cole Colleran. I was able to look up some numbers on Cole. Sophomore from University of San Diego. 6-foot southpaw out of Solana Beach, California. And this is for ball 3. Count is full on Harrison, the leadoff man here in the second. 18 innings pitched this year at USD. 5.0 earned run average. Struck out 16, but also walked 14. Swing and a miss. He strikes out Harrison. Second strikeout of the game for Colleran. That'll bring up Isaac Shook, Goldpanner catcher. Shook from Francis Marion in South Carolina. Wonder how he made it there from Reno, Nevada. 6'1" junior, Isaac Shook, Goldpanner catcher. Batting in the 7th spot, he'll be followed by Marty Munoz. Goldpanners with no runs on 1 base hit so far. Had a couple of men on with 2 outs in the 1st inning. McCless, fielder's choice ground out to end that threat. Meredith gave up a 1-out walk in the bottom of the 1st, but a 4-6-3 double play ended that. Ground ball to short. The Panners were just getting used to playing on grass again, and now we're back on the turf. And this is the first time we played on this kind of turf this year. Much different surface than the AstroTurf at Groudon.
Yeah, a friend of mine calls it multi-turf just because it's all dirt. Turf's in the middle.
Yeah, you don't see many of those fields anymore. With the dirt sliding pits and the dirt mound, and then the turf all around. It's so hard to maintain is the issue. Munoz with 2 outs and the base is empty. Swings and misses for strike 2. The Waves really haven't played a meaningful game in a few days. They were 2-0, and on the 2nd day of the tournament already had the 1st seed clinched. Then they played a depleted Seals team and blew them out. They did lose to the Utah Marshals in the cross-divisional game. And then they've been off for a couple days, waiting for this game to get around. And here's the 1-2, and it's grounded by Munoz right side. And on to first base, Lindman to Stark. And a 1-2-3 inning for Cole Colleran. We're still scoreless here at Slick. Headed to the bottom of the 2nd. Goldpanners and Waves here at the Gates World Series. Garrow Von Dane live. Goldpanners baseball on PannerVision. Win or go home. Elimination game here in the semifinals. Panners and Waves 0-0 as we go to the bottom of the 2nd. The Waves are the home team here. 2nd inning of work for Nolan Meredith. Goldpanner right-hander from UC Davis. Nolan making his 11th appearance of the summer and 9th start. 38 2/3, 18 earned runs for an ERA of 4.19. And in those 38 2/3, he has struck out 29 and walked 18. Usually pitches to contact, gets a lot of ground balls. And a very steady force for the Goldpanners this year. Look out, this one though is hit into the gap, and it is going to elude Harrison and go all the way to the fence Quincy Scott from Palomar all the way into second base with a stand-up leadoff double here in the second inning. The Waves, again, had a great summer. Like everybody, lost a few players. Remember Gio Gonzalez up the middle, he was injured. And every team has to suffer some losses late in the year. Panners, we know all about players they've lost, especially on the pitching staff. Top pitcher Garrett Cooper departing a couple of weeks ago, an ERA under 1 this summer. Ian Torpy last week. And more and more. But you got to dance with who brung you, and that's who's left here for the Panners and who the Waves have left. Runner in scoring position for San Diego with nobody out, Jamie Berg, the batter. And he pops this one up high to shallow center field. Griffin Harrison, long run, and it lands between all 3 fielders. So everybody's safe at second and third. Unbelievable. Munoz, Harrison, and Rudy, that ball was in the air forever, and no one was able to get to it. That is a huge play because now, instead of 1 at second and 1 out, now you've got second and third with nobody out. That goes as a double for Berg. And Phoenix Some. Skies this one into shallow right field. Brock Kless comes in. He will make the catch. The runner will tag and hold as the throw comes in. And so that is a very big first out here and brings up Alex Jones, third baseman for the Waves. Alex Jones, also a recent addition to the Waves roster, is not on their online roster. I don't know where he's from. Jones, the third baseman for San Diego, has a chance to bring in 1 or 2. Meredith, good stop by Shook, pitch in the turf outside. Meredith working to Jones. That one down and in, 2 balls and no strikes. After Jones is John Stark defensively for Fairbanks. Isaac Shook catching, Matthew Pinal at first, Caleb Milliken at second, Marty Munoz at short, Tate Shamau back at third base. It's Brock Rudy in left, Griffin Harrison in center, and Brock Kless is in right. Here's the 2-0 from Meredith, and a one-hopper back to the mound. Meredith looks the runner back, throws high to first base, but Pinal leaps up to make the catch. And that's the second out and keeps the runners wherever they are. Good work for Meredith. Can he get Stark and strand those 2 base runners? This will be a huge lift for the Panners to get the big guy, John Stark. 6'1", 260 pounds from Western Oregon. Stark, the first baseman for the Waves tonight. Second and third now, 2 outs. 1 strike pitch from Meredith. Just a little high for ball 1. Meredith readies. Way outside and another nice snag by Shook. Two balls and a strike. No time for wild pitches right now. With runners at second and third. The 2-1 from Meredith. It's called a ball, 3-1. The on-deck hitter is Reese Anderson in the 9 spot. The 3-1. And again, it's calling a ball. I guess it was just low, and Stark reaches on the walk. And the bases are full for the Waves here in a scoreless second inning. Reese Anderson, the designated hitter in the 9 spot. 6'1" right-handed hitter from South Dakota State. Scott at third, Berg at second, and Stark at first. Meredith starts, and that one was right there, and it's line foul out of play. We are away in the southern portion of Salt Lake City here in Jordan. Beautiful and sunny now. The 0-1 pitch to Anderson. Line to right, that's a base hit. In to score is Scott. Berg will be waved around, he will score. And the Waves take a 2-0 lead on a big 2-out, 2-run single for Reese Anderson. A little bloop that nobody caught, and shallow left center comes back to hurt the Goldpanners. And now Meredith will try to take care of Devlin Lindman. Lindman grounded out to short. His first time up, pops this one back and out of play. Two nothing Waves. They strike first here in the second inning. Panners played such a clean game earlier today. The 1-ball, 1-strike count. Still runners at the corners here for the Waves. Right-hander's pitch is up and away. The Waves should have a lot of healthy arms, well rested. Again, after their first 2 games, they had the top seed wrapped up. And a couple days off. Panners, though, going to try to piece things together and try and win 3 games in just over 24 hours. This is game number 2. Defeated the Las Vegas Gamblers 7-2 earlier today. Throw to first, runner back safely. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count on Lindman. Fouled out of play to stay alive. Goldpanners baseball here on PannerVision. Hope you follow us on Twitter. We tried to keep you up to date all day long with everything changing on the fly. You can follow the Goldpanners at Real Goldpanners. And time is called. Something in the eye of the batter, Devlin Lindman. The Waves general manager, Mike Studer, raised in Fairbanks, Alaska, and coached by Jason Schmeiser. The 2-2 is up high for ball 3. Caden Zuba is on deck. Goldpanners coached by Mark Lindsay. His assistants are Marcus Mastroboni and Jake Taylor. The 3-2 from Meredith. Foul tip into the glove of Shook. That's it for the Waves in the second, but they score 2 and leave a couple of men on. We'll head to the third. 2-zip. Waves. Gates World Series semifinal. Top of the third, a bunt put down, but it's fouled off by Caleb Milliken as he tries to sneak on. Panners trailing 2-0 to the San Diego Waves. Goldpanners have won 2 in a row. Great game last night over the host Utah Marshals, a 9-3 win, and then 7-2 over the Las Vegas Gamblers in the quarterfinals this afternoon. And then the downpour came. It lasted a good while, too. But you'd never know it now, but a typical day in the West. Big storm goes by and sunny skies. We're over at Salt Lake Community College, Jordan campus. Home of the Slick Bruins. Salt Lake Community College had a great year this year, they did. 1-ball pitch. And it's 2-1 to Milliken, who fouled the first pitch off, attempting to get a bunt single. Here's the 2-1, and it's fouled out of play. Ninth batter faced for Cole Colleran here in the start. He has given up just 1 base hit. A couple of strikeouts, no walks. Mentioned his numbers earlier. He did walk a lot of guys this spring at USD. 14 over 18 innings, but he strikes out Milliken, his 3rd K of the game, 1 in each inning. Garo Von Dane, Gates World Series semifinals. Tate Shimau, the batter. Tate 0 for 1 in this game, had the first game off. But he is 7 for 14 here at the World Series with a home run mixed in. Batting .500 here at the tournament, batting .372 on the season. Down and in, 2 balls and no strikes to Shimau, 1 out. And nobody on. Panners trailing by 2, a big 2-out, 2-run single for Reese Anderson out of the 9 spot to put the Waves on top. And it's 3-0 to Shimau. After Tate is Brock Rudy. Waves have won 4 in a row against the Goldpanners. Tate takes all the way and takes a strike. And that one's down and in for ball 4. The first walk issued by Cole Colleran. And a 1-out base runner for the Goldpanners. We'll bring up Brock Rudy. We've talked about him in this series. 0 for 1 in the game with a strikeout. He's now 1 for 19. No time like the present to get rolling. And Brock takes strike 1. Well outside for ball, it's 1-1. Meanwhile, out in Wichita, Kansas, the NBC World Series Championship game going on right now. And the Santa Barbara Foresters have jumped all over the Hayes Larks at 6-0 in the 3rd inning. Foresters have been piling up the NBC titles the last decade. Hayes still looking for their first. Ball and 2 strikes on Rudy with Rimmer on deck. Base hit here, you got something going. Rudy takes down and away, it's 2-2. Brock's parents here on hand. Foul tip to stay alive for Brock. Tate Shamau likes to run, but hasn't gone anywhere yet. And with the left-hander on the mound, always a little bit tougher. Cole Colleran doing a good job so far, working into the 3rd inning. Has allowed just 1 base hit and 1 walk. Rudy with a 2-2 count. And there goes Shamau. Pitches down and away, throw to second base off the mark. Shamau in safely. Ball goes into center field, but Shamau stays put at second. Stolen base for Shamau. And now Rudy with a 3-ball, 2-strike count has a runner in scoring position with the Panners trailing 2-0, top of the 3rd. The Waves remember Brock and what he did in that series, including that game-winning hit in the midnight sun game at 1:38 in the morning. The longest day of the year. Here's the 3-2. Rudy grounds one right side. And fielding it on a few hops and throwing on to first is Lindemann. Over to third base goes Shamau with 1 out. Rudy 0 for 2. And that brings up Sean Rimmer, who reached on an error in the 1st inning. Rimmer, formerly of Yavapai, going to be at Hawaii this year. Leads the Goldpanners with 8 home runs this summer. Dimensions here, 335 down the left field line, 339 in right, and 400 at dead center. The gaps sit at 380. Runner at third with 2 outs. Swing and a miss. Rimmer batting .364 this summer. I mentioned those 8 home runs. Home run here would tie the game. He swings and misses for strike 2. Tate Schmaus over there at third. Head coach Mark Lindsay in the third base box. Jake Taylor over at first. Swing and a miss. Rimmer strikes out. Goldpanners strand a runner at third. We played 2.5 from Salt Lake Community College, and it's the Waves 2, Goldpanners nothing. Garrow Von Dane here at Salt Lake Community College, who had to move over here to the artificial surface after the heavy rains earlier today. And the first pitch at the bottom of the third is rolled into center field, a base hit for Caden Zuba, leadoff man aboard for the Waves. They've got a 2-0 lead. Brings up Gardner Christensen and then Quincy Scott. Winner goes to the championship tomorrow morning. The Marshals are set to take on the UCL Stars. I haven't confirmed where and when that game will be. 8 o'clock. Oh, back at Kearns. Being told that they're going to try and play that one at Kearns. I guess they're trying to get that field ready. That's only 46 minutes away. Man, did it rain earlier. So they're going to try and play that one at 8 o'clock. Over at Gates Field. Championship game, 10:30 a.m. tomorrow. Can't have any rain tomorrow. Christensen grounded into a 4-6-3 double play in the first inning. Nolan Meredith, third inning of work. 2 runs on 4 hits so far. The 1-1 to Christensen, the Waves catcher. And it's called strike 2. I feel like we're so far away after being right behind home plate at Gates Field. Love that view there. Meredith with a throw to first base. And the championship game is scheduled to be back there tomorrow morning. After Christensen is Quincy Scott. Goldpanners have gone 9-6 in games away from Groudon this summer. This one is hit high into center field. Just a little bit to his left goes Harrison for out number 1 rather. Quincy Scott will be the batter. He led off the second inning with a double and came in to score. Panners have gotten a really good pitching the last couple of games, hoping for a strong outing from Nolan Meredith here in the semifinal. Last night, Verdugo and Remmers combining for 0 earned runs and 17 strikeouts against the Marshals. And earlier today, it was Garrett Maloney and Matthew Pennall combining to win that game 7-2. Panners out-hit Utah 14-5. Out-hit the Gamblers 12-4. The Waves, though, winning the hit battle 4-1 and the run battle 2-0 so far. A long way to go. This one's a 9-inning game. And a strike is called. It's 1-1 to Quincy Scott in the cleanup spot. Hit into center field, but again, right at Harrison. 2 down, and a runner at first base brings up Jamie Berg. Undecided junior, Jamie Berg, left-handed hitter. Fouled back to the netting, and it's 0-1. A leadoff single here in the third. A couple of fly ball outs after. The runner's still at first base. Berg batting .260 this summer. Another throw over to first. The Waves as a team are batting .285. Umpire said strike 2. It looked like Berg called time, but he wasn't granted time. It didn't appear. A runner at first base with 2 away for Meredith. That one's hit into the gap in left center. And it's going to roll all the way to the fence, and that's going to score a run. A 2-out base hit brings Zuba all the way around from first base. And the Waves doing it all with 2 outs here today. RBI double for Jamie Berg with 2 strikes into the left field gap. Brings up Phoenix Some. 3-0 Waves. That's their 5th hit of the game. Phoenix Some now. Batting .269. After Some would be Jones. Clouds obscuring the sun right now. It's fine with us. A little hot here in this press box. 1-1, Meredith to Some. Flew out to right. His first time up. Alexis Friedman posting a ton of pictures up on the Facebook and Instagram pages for the Goldpanners. TikTok still active too. Thank you, McKinley. Done a great job this year. Goldpanners TikTok, some of those videos getting over 1 million views. It's a lot of eyeballs. The 1-2. Grounder left side. Shamau scoops, has to hurry it, and it's off the glove of Pennall, and that will score a run. Shamau throwing it into the turf, and Pennall couldn't make the clean play. And it's 4-0 Waves. Not the way the Goldpanners wanted to start this semifinal game. It was the first Goldpanner error of the game. Made a defensive mistake earlier with a pop-up dropping between 3 fielders. And the Waves have scored all 4 runs with 2 outs. Alex Jones grounded out to the pitcher, his first time up. They're in the 3rd inning, and the Waves on top 4-0. Ground ball to short. Munoz. He throws it in the turf, but Pinal's able to make the catch on the short hop. That's the 3rd out. The Waves pick up 2 more. They lead it by 4 after 3. Goldpanners come to bat in the top of the 4th inning, find themselves trailing 4-0, and Matthew Pinal pops the pitch up behind home plate, and the catcher Christensen makes the grab for out number 1. Panners trying to get the bats going. They just seem out of sync here. Like everything changed when they left the other field and came over here. Really fired up dugout the last few games, playing good, solid baseball, hitting, pitching, fielding. It just seem a little out of sync here. Got to get their mojo back here in the 4th before they fall out of this one. It's already 4-zip Waves. 1 out here in the 4th inning. Just 1 base hit for the Goldpanners. That was a single by Pinal in the 1st. Now Brock Kless will try to give the Goldpanners a base runner against Cole Colleran. 4 runs on 5 hits for the Waves. No runs, 1 hit for Alaska. Lose and your season's over. Win and play in the championship game. That was lined right at the left fielder Berg. Hard hit ball by Kless. Right to Berg. 2 up and 2 down for Colleran here in the 4th inning. Griffin Harrison struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. This one is hit high and deep to right center field by Harrison. Ball going back and catching it in front of the fence is the right fielder Zuba. Some hard hit balls in the inning, but in the end it's a 1-2-3. Panners trail it 4-0 through 3.5. Garrow Von Dane here at Salt Lake Community College in Jordan, Utah. Nolan Meredith out for his 4th inning of work. The Goldpanners trailing 4-0. The Waves getting 2 in the second, 2 in the third. All those runs coming with 2 outs. The Waves, though, have hit 3 doubles in the game, out hitting the Panners 5-1. Panners out of sync here in this game, but got to get it figured out here soon. Well, the season's going to come to a close against the Waves. And a strike called. Meredith got to put up a 0 here in the 4th. Panners just 1 base hit, a single with 2 outs back in the 1st inning from Matthew Pinal. And it's 2-2 Meredith to John Stark, who walked in his first plate appearance. Stark batting .333 this summer. Fouls that one back. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the leadoff spot here in the 4th. The last 2 innings, the Waves have leadoff hits. He walks him. The leadoff man aboard for the 3rd consecutive inning. And Nolan Meredith will have to pitch with a runner on again here in the 4th. Activity in the Goldpanner bullpen, with Meredith struggling a little bit here. Strike called, 0-1. Meredith to Reese Anderson at a 2-run single with 2 outs in the 2nd. He drove one to right. Batting .263 this summer. The Waves normally play at the NBC World Series. This summer, electing to take part in the Gates World Series in Salt Lake City. They've had a good showing. The UCL Stars this morning beat up on the Game Day Angels. A bit of a surprise. Off the end of the bat, roller towards second. Flip to the bag for 1, no chance to turn 2. Ball wasn't hit hard enough, but the 4-6 put out of Stark. And 1 away here in the 4th. Anderson reaches on the fielder's choice. Brings up Devlin Lindman. So the UCL Stars and Utah Marshals set to go at 8 p.m. That's the schedule for now. An 8 p.m. start over at Kearns High School in the other semifinal game. Devlin Lindman 0 for 2 from the top of the order. And there goes the runner. And it's lined off the glove of Meredith. And can he make a play to first? He does. What a play by Meredith. The ball was lined off of his glove. It knocked it off his hand. And Meredith with the wherewithal to get to the baseball and fire a strike to first base for the out. Big time play for Nolan Meredith. Anderson goes to second on the play, and the 1-3 put out of Lindemann. Almost like a 1-1-3, if there was such a thing. But a runner in scoring position. Waves have done all their damage with 2 outs. So not out of the woods yet, Caden Zuba. And it's thrown to the backstop. That one got away from Nolan. So over to third goes Anderson. Zuba walked in the first, singled and scored in the third. Bottom of the fourth. The Waves leading 4-0. And another run 90 feet away. A 1-ball pitch with 2 away is in for a strike. Caden Zuba, a .296 hitter this summer. Fouls that one out of play. It's 1-2. Meredith the strike away. Putting a 0 up here in the fourth. The 1-2. Got him swinging. Waves strand a runner here in the fourth inning. Meredith keeps it a 4-0 game. Panners need some runs as we head to the fifth. Goldpanners baseball here on PannerVision, semifinals of the Gates World Series. The left-hander deals one to Shook, who grounds one through the left side for a base hit. First hit since the first inning for Fairbanks, and the first time they've had the leadoff man aboard. Panners trailing 4-0 as we start the fifth here in the semifinal game. Winner goes to tomorrow morning's championship. Isaac Shook, a 1-for-2 day, brings up Marty Munoz. Munoz has had a great World Series. 8 for 13 with a couple of home runs, 9 RBIs. Swing and a miss from Marty, who grounded out to second in his first at bat against Cole Colleran, who was been baffling Panner hitters so far, but Shook with a leadoff single here in the fifth. Isaac bluffs from first, and the pitch is down and away for a ball, 1-1. Panners have hit the ball well all summer long. You figure they're going to come out of this. It's not often they are held off the scoreboard for 4 innings. Well, that's what Cole Colleran has done. Caleb Milliken on deck. Munoz trying to spark a rally. Marty just gets a piece of it and fouls it off. Munoz started the day at 281. And the 1-2 phrases him. Big breaking ball for strike 3. First out of the inning. And that'll bring up Caleb Milliken. Just 2 base hits off of Cole Colleran. He has walked 1, another reached on an error. He has struck out 5 through 4 1/3. Grounded right side. Throw to second for 1. On to first. Safe at first base. The inning stays alive. Milliken reaches on the fielder's choice. But now 2 away for Tate Shamau. Well, it's time for the Goldpanners to pick up some 2-out runs. Shamau 0 for 1 with a walk. This Goldpanner team averaging over 8 runs per game this season. But they have been shut out for 4 2/3 by Cole Colleran. Upstairs for ball 1. The 6-foot southpaw from USD out of Solana Beach, California. Shutting out the Goldpanners here in the 5th. The 1-ball pitch is down low for ball 2. Shamau walked in the 2nd inning, the only base on balls issued by Colleran today. And the 2-0 is hit high and deep to right, back to the warning track and in front of the fence, making the catch is Zuba. A long drive to right for out number 3. Panners being shut out through 5. It's 4-0 Waves headed to the bottom of the 5th. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning here from Gate Field at Salt Lake Community College. Goldpanners baseball against the San Diego Waves in the semifinals of the Gates World Series. Had to move over here after the torrential downpours this afternoon. And the artificial surface here, very playable. So Panners being outplayed right now by the San Diego Waves 4-0 as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. New pitcher is Caden Hogan. Caden Hogan into the game. The Panners trailing 4-0. Nolan Meredith departs after 4, giving up 4 runs, 3 earned. Hogan starts with a 2-1 count to Garner Christensen in the 3 spot, now 3-1. Caden Hogan out of UC Davis, second-year Goldpanner. He was the shortstop last summer, pitched a little bit too. Did not pitch at school this year due to injuries, but has pitched very well for the Goldpanners here in the month of July after joining the team. But he walks Christensen, and that is the 4th straight inning the Waves have had the leadoff man aboard. That's a tough way to pitch. Meredith, 4 innings, 4 runs, 3 earned on 5 hits. He walked 3 and struck out 2. Let down by an error and a defensive lapse, but surrendered some 2-out hits to the Waves, who have been opportunistic today and are getting good pitching and fielding. Waves playing a good game. No surprise, a very good club this year under general manager Mike Studer and head coach Jason Schmeiser. One of the best we've seen from the Waves in a while. Quincy Scott 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored. Lined out to center field his last time up. Now facing the new pitcher, Caden Hogan, with a runner at first, nobody out. Tries to bunt and pops it up, but Hogan took his eye off the baseball, but he's going to throw to second anyway and get the out at second. So Caden was turning his head to see where he was going to throw, and the ball bounced off of his glove, but is able to get his bearings, scoop up the baseball, and throw to second to get Christensen. Quincy Scott reaches on the fielder's choice. Jamie Berg has doubled twice in the game. 3 doubles for the Waves. They lead at 4-0 here in the 5th. There's another bunt, and that one is going to roll foul. And Waves trying to play some small ball here. Strange that Berg, though, 2 for 2 with a couple of doubles, being asked to bunt. Especially with 1 out. Well, maybe he's bunting on his own. The 0-2, he takes ball 1. Hard throwing right-hander Caden Hogan. And this one is hit high and deep into center field, but Harrison appears to be underneath it on the warning track and makes the catch to get rid of Berg for the first time in the game. 2 away for Phoenix Some. Caden Hogan making his 6th appearance of the summer here in the month of July. Has thrown 7 innings and not allowed a run. It's on just 4 hits. He has struck out 8 and walked 2. Some 0 for 2. Pinal holding the runner on at first. Up and in from Hogan. I think Caden found a guitar, a bass guitar, in the parking lot of Winco Foods yesterday. He's got it in the dugout now, no strings on it. And he drills Phoenix Some. You see him grimace as he spins trying to get out of the way. And so Some takes his base, and now 2 aboard with 2 outs. And here comes Goldpanner bench coach Marcus Mastroboni. Marcus, fresh off a professional career, a few years in the Cubs organization. First-time coach here this summer. Alex Jones will stand in. 0 for 2 in the game. He and Devlin Lindman, the only Waves who have not reached safely in the game. Panners last night, pitchers did not walk a single batter. Same thing in the game this afternoon against the Gamblers. No walks. Four walks so far in 4 2/3 in the semifinals. Down and away, good stop by Shook. Keep the runners where they are. Made 2-run, 2-out single for Reese Anderson in the second. A 2-out RBI double for Berg in the third. Another run coming in on an error in the third inning. It's 3-1 now to Alex Jones. And he pops this one back and out of play. The count will go full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. John Stark is on deck. He's walked twice in the game. Garo Von Dane here in Salt Lake City as we shifted over to Salt Lake Community College to the artificial surface where it was a little drier, more ready to play. Here's the 3-2, and it's down and away, ball 4. Hogan has walked 2 in the inning and hit a batter, and now the bases are loaded. Everything that was going right the last couple of days has vacated, seemingly when we vacated the other park. Hogan gets a pop fly out of play from Stark. Again, he's walked twice in 2 plate appearances. Seven have reached on either a walk, hit by pitch, or an error. That ball is crushed but hooked well foul. And it's 0-2 on Big John Stark. Four-zip Waves here in the 5th. Caden needs to get this last out. The Panners need to get the bats going. Here's the 0-2. Check swing. The ball came off the bat very hard on a check swing. Foul ball. It's still 0-2. Stark and then Reese Anderson due up. The other semifinal game set to get going here in just a bit. About 10 minutes was the initial word, and Hogan hits him on an 0-2 pitch. He hits Stark to walk in a run. And it's 5-0 Waves. And what is going on with the Panners here today in this semifinal game? They've got to figure it out soon because the Waves have a 5-0 lead, and this is not an easy team to come back on. RBI hit by pitch for John Stark. 3 straight have reached base after the second out. No one has gotten a base hit in the inning, but the bases are loaded and a run is in. That's the first earned run that Hogan has given up this season, and it happens without a base hit. One and one to Anderson. Upstairs for ball 2. And the bullpen's going to get going for the Goldpanners. Up and in for ball 3. Oh boy. Hogan struggling here in his first inning of work. Has issued 4 free passes, and he gets the strike call. It's 3-2. He had only walked 2 on the season. He's walked 2 and hit 2 in the inning. The payoff with the bases loaded, and he walks him. Another run comes in. And the Waves don't even have to take the bat off the shoulder. And Isaac Shook's going to come out to the mound. Is this going to be it for Caden Hogan already? Not one hit in the inning. 2 runs are in, and the bases are loaded, and here comes head coach Mark Lindsay in a tough way for probably the season to come to an end for Caden Hogan after a great month of July and an early part of August. Pitching change when we come back. It's the Waves by 6 here in the 5th. Goldpanners in a heap of trouble here in the bottom of the 5th. It's 6-0 Waves. Mitch Musler into the game. Caden Hogan could not get out of the inning. And Mitch Musler, one of the newest Goldpanners, came over from the Flagstaff Star Chasers to join the team for the road trip. This is his 2nd appearance. Musler. A desperation situation here for Fairbanks. Bases loaded. And 2 outs. 2 runs are in, and he starts with 2 balls to Devlin Lindeman. Caden Hogan faces 7 batters. Hits 2. Walks 3. No hits in the inning. 2 runs have come in. This one has popped up, and it's going to get out of play. There is a 10-run rule in effect after 5. We're in the bottom of the 5th. It's 6-0 and the bases are loaded. Lindeman is 0 for 3 in the game. And it's 3-1. Boy, nothing going right for the Goldpanners here in this game. Things were looking so good. Team was playing great the last couple of games, including this afternoon. The Rains have done something. This one is grounded up the middle and through for a base hit. Into scores Jones. Here comes Stark right behind him. And it's 8-0. And the Waves are potentially a hit away from ending this game. Runners at the corners, and it's 8-0 San Diego. Crazy game, isn't it? You just never know. And Isaac Shook's going to come out. The Well, just in case. We better start looking at things here and speaking to our friends back in Fairbanks and everyone who has helped us along this summer. And the entire Goldpanners staff. General Manager John Lorkey had to attend to a family emergency. And so time is being called right now. Mark Lindsay is going out to talk to the home plate umpire. I'm not sure what the issue is. So John Lorkey not here with the team, but big thanks go out to him for another sensational summer. He joined me on the broadcast the other day. Another great Goldpanner season. Not done yet, but the Waves are inches away from 10-run ruling the Goldpanners here potentially. Well, the umpire's going to talk something over. I'm still not sure what it is. And we went through a lot of thank yous the other day. We'll continue those. Goldpanner team president Abe Siddall for all you do, man. And Abe's wonderful wife, Fabian. I'll see you guys in a few days, of course. Stacy, you know that all that you do. One of the most key members of this Goldpanners organization, Stacy Josie. Back to work goes Musler with one strike on Zuba, the ninth batter of the inning. One hit in the inning and 4 runs for the Waves, all coming apart at the seams for the Goldpanners here in the semifinal game. The 1-1 popped up, foul territory. Pinal running into the shade and makes the catch. And the game will continue into the 6th, but the Panners trail it 8-0. Do they have anything left? We'll find out soon. Goldpanners need to get to work and do so fast. Brock Rudy just the man to start things off here in the 6th inning. Trail at 8-0 to the San Diego Waves. Rudy, Rimmer, and Pinal. If any part of the order is going to get something going offensively, it's these 3 right here. Brock Rudy, in a fantastic summer again. Yes, struggling here in Salt Lake, but now's the time to get some offense going and put some runs up. Panners have been shut out for 5 innings by Cole Colleran. The Waves outplaying the Panners in every facet so far. Fairbanks with just 2 base hits today. A single by Pinal in the 1st, a single for Shook in the 5th. But Rudy here, 3 balls and no strikes. Panners need a lot of base runners. Can Rudy get on to start it off? That's called a strike, 3-1. Only 1 walk so far for Cole Colleran. He has struck out 5. Waves get 4 runs in the 5th inning on 1 hit. Rudy lines this one into the glove of Stark. And yeah, that's the kind of day it's been. Hard hit ball down the line, right into the leather. Sean Rimmer. An 0 for 2 start to this game. Starting to work through some thank yous to our great Goldpanner staff and all the board members who work all off season. Henry Cole on the point streak, and his wife Shauna on scoreboard. Another great summer up at Groud Memorial Park. And all of our additional helpers in the concession stand, the fine women at Frosty Hooters, for feeding us all summer long, and everybody at Groudon. Alexis Friedman, who has greeted you at the ticket booth, and also has posted all these great Goldpanner pictures on the Facebook and Instagram pages. McKinley, who's been killing it with the TikTok. Two balls and 2 strikes on Rimmer. Reached on an error back in the first, struck out swinging in the third. Grounded foul. Regardless of how the rest of this tournament goes, the Goldpanners will say their goodbyes tomorrow. It's a strange deal every year. These guys become so close during the summer. Some of them living together with host families, traveling together. They're jammed into hotel rooms. And then they all say goodbye. High fly ball into shallow center field. Rimmer is out number 2. We'll bring up Matthew Pinal, who's 1 for 2 in the game. Some of them will remain friends for many years. But most, well, a lot of these California guys will see each other a lot, but in many cases, they won't see each other again. The way summer baseball goes. One hopper back to the mound by Pinal, and a 1-2-3 inning for Colleran. Panners go quietly here in the 6th. 8-0 Waves. Panners in an 8-0 deficit as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Second inning of work for Mitch Musler. And he faces Garner Christensen, Quincy Scott, and Jamie Berg. This one is fouled out of play. It's all waves today. And the Panners in that 1-2-3, top of the 6. They look like a team that is beaten. And the Waves are all over them here today, the semifinals. Waves trying to go for 5 straight against the Goldpanners this summer. Going back to that 6-game series in Fairbanks. There's a happy Mike Studer in that Waves dugout. Team he grew up watching and cheering for, the Goldpanners. Mike has run this Waves team since they were founded in the 90s. Ground ball to second. Throw on to first and a 4-3 putout. That is the first time the leadoff batter has been retired since the first inning for the Waves. Here's Quincy Scott. 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored. The Waves got 2 in the second, 2 in the third. It was 4-0. Meredith started to slow down San Diego, but Caden Hogan struggled in the 5th. Uncharacteristically, he's been so good. Had not given up a run in the month since he arrived, but walked 3 and hit 2 batters. And 1 base hit later, 4 runs were on the board. 8-0 Waves is where we stand here in the bottom of the 6th. Goldpanners winning earlier today against the Las Vegas Gamblers decisively. It was 7-2. They had the bases loaded to the Panners with nobody out, and the rains came and the game was called. And boy, did it rain, and we scrambled, and Chris got everything out of the field and hustled it all over here, and took a few hours for the whole process to get PannerVision set back up here, and we got it going right before the first pitch. Base hit to center for Quincy Scott, and PannerVision made it up, but some of you might not be too thrilled about it. Hasn't been pretty here against the Waves. That one is ripped down the left field line, but just foul off the bat of Jamie Berg. But what a summer it's been for the Goldpanners. 34 wins this year against 14 losses and 1 tie. A spectacular midnight sun game. We won a lot of baseball games at Groudon for the home fans. 25-8 with 1 tie at home. It was a very entertaining club under first-year field manager, second-year coach Mark Lindsay. And what a crew they've been. Mark and his assistants Jake Taylor and Marcus Mastroboni. A really fun group to be around and live with at Panner Manor. This one is lined into center field. A base hit for Berg. Back-to-back hits have the Waves in business again. Here in the 6th inning, and with an 8-run lead, the Waves can end this game early if they go up by 10. We cannot forget to thank all of our fantastic PannerVision fans who have followed along all year long. You guys have been great. All our regulars on the YouTube chat. This one is grounded up the middle and through, a base hit for Phoenix Some, and it's 9-0 Waves. Over to third goes Berg, and with 1 out, the Waves are a base hit away from ending this game. 9-0 San Diego here in the 6th. You fans have been amazing. Somebody asked me on the chat earlier today what I do the rest of the year. I guess we'll tell you here before we run out of time. I work on movie sets back in Pittsburgh as a scenic artist by day, and broadcast for Robert Morris University, a Division I school in the Pittsburgh area. Did hockey for them for 17 years. They shut down their programs, but they're bringing them back. But in the meantime, doing Columbus Mavericks juniors hockey in Columbus, Ohio. So Robert Morris broadcasting Columbus Mavericks, and I'll be back to work on movie sets in Pittsburgh before long. 1-ball pitch is outside. Runner's going to take off for second. That run doesn't matter, so no throw. Huge thanks go out to Chris Carlson, who has worked unbelievably hard to bring you all of these PannerVision broadcasts all season long. We got every game on one way or another, thanks to Chris and all the hard work he's done, not only on PannerVision, but all the rest of the stuff he's done. Swing and a miss. Mitch Musler trying to extend this game. The Waves are a run away from finishing off the Panners here in the semifinals of the Gates World Series. We have to thank everybody here with the Marshals for putting on a fantastic tournament. And Chad does such a great job with this Marshals organization. And we hope the Marshals can make a trip back up to Fairbanks. It was great to have them last summer and really treated us well, helped us out in any way possible. This one is ripped to left, and it is off the glove of the left fielder, Rudy, and it will roll to the fence, and that base hit will end this game for the Waves. They have defeated the Goldpanners, and I don't know what the official score is going to be, either 10 or 11. I think 10 is going to be the official score. And let's see, the umpires are gathering, the players are looking around. It looks like everyone's unsure about whether or not this game is over. And it looks like it's going to continue. And now the coaches are going to talk it over, and the umpires, I believe this one is going to be over, and they are going to discuss things. Everybody a little confused right now. Coach Schmeiser for the Waves is headed to the dugout. So that is your ball game. It will be a 10-0 final. The Goldpanners, that's the way, a tough way for a fantastic season to come to an end. The Waves just took it to Fairbanks here in the semis, and just one of those forgetful ways. Well, it's never easy when the season comes to a close, no matter what the final score is and no matter which way the game goes. Panners with an excellent showing here at the Gates World Series. They fall to the Waves 10-0. The Waves go to the championship tomorrow morning at 10:30 against the winner of the UCL Stars Utah Marshals game. Chad Shepard, thank you for hosting us and being a host with class. And just a great dude, man. We really appreciate you. And we'd like to thank all of our fans for tuning into PannerVision all summer long. Chris, you got anything to say to our listeners?
I'm just glad you're either on my left or my right. That makes everything a little bit more happy and a little bit more fun. So thank you, Garrett. I just want to thank you. And actually, you did a great job thanking everybody else. So I'm just going to leave it at that. It's been an absolute pleasure. My second sophomore season. Thank you very much.
Chris, appreciating his sophomore season, and all of you Goldpanner fans all around the world. The 2022 season is in the books. The Gates World Series ends for the Fairbanks, and the Goldpanners will bid farewell to each other and go back about their lives after another fantastic Goldpanner season. Some of them we might see again next year, and we sure hope so. Who knows what next season will look like? You never know from one year to the next. But I'd like to thank the coaching staff, too. Head coach Mark Lindsay, who I'm happy to call a friend, along with Marcus Masterboni and Jake Taylor, three wonderful gentlemen, all loved by these players on the roster. I can promise you that. They've had a great summer, a memorable summer, and my thanks to those three guys for being excellent roommates, wonderful guys, and for doing their best to coach a great Goldpanners team here in 2022. The players also have been wonderful, extremely well-behaved guys, good people, mom and dad out there. You did a great job with these boys. What a great team it's been. What a fantastic summer. Again, Chris Carlson, thanks to him for doing all this work and making my job much, much easier. Hey, everybody in Fairbanks, we love you. We'll see you soon, and we'll see you at the field come June. One final time, Garrow Von Dane saying so long From Salt Lake City, Utah, the 2022 season comes to a close. We'll see you in 2023. Tune in, turn on, and pan out. Have a great winter, everybody. We'll see you next summer. Goodbye.